Pull us out. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey. I didn't do the boom either. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you much. I probably used the wrong intro.
Yeah, that was one I haven't seen for a while. That was the original.
I know, right? It only gave me that choice, so it must be the other one is. I could let's see if I can find that one. Here's the other one. Two hip kicks. That's better. That's better. I feel better now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who's coming in. If you're coming in, because I didn't schedule this like an idiot. Totally. I've just been too occupied with other things, I guess. So, but TC's an understanding soul.
Life intrudes. That's how it is. Believe me, I know.
Oh boy, does it ever. Does it ever. So yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in. You'll probably, if you didn't know it was here or you're looking for it, here we are. But you are simulcasting at least, TC, so that's cool.
Yeah, I got it up on my stuff.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. We are here though. We are going to talk about some music. TC had a great idea. You guys know who TC is. TC, introduce yourself, just in case.
I'm TC.
There you go. Well, and I'm done. There you have it. There you have it in a nutshell. TC had a great idea. We've talked a lot about vinyl. We talked a lot about care and feeding of your vinyl. I guess you could call it that. But we haven't talked a lot about CDs and electronic media and digital. Because it's a big part of people's collections too. A lot of stuff doesn't even come out on vinyl.
Yeah.
Right?
And with vinyl getting more and more expensive and CDs slowly making a comeback, I just thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and discuss CDs for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering the amount of used CDs I've been buying from a certain reseller the last few months.
I have no idea. Hey, I'm glad it's going into better homes, I mean, there's just, I want everybody, I truly feel that all records and any media wants is just to be played one more time. Mm-hmm. So if this can get something played one more time, there you go. So
exactly
the fact that you're getting a bunch of them, and so are a lot of other people picking all those up, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I like going to like garage sales and estate sales too, because I like to find stuff I haven't heard before or maybe trade up a little bit in quality of the albums and the music I love. So that's cool for sure. So besides just CD cases, which I know I have a few of them here. There we go. We'll just do this one. So the jewel type case is usually what they come in, something like this, right? And this is not an album. That is a great way to store them, but it takes up a lot of space. Mm-hmm. Do you have everything of yours in hard cases?
I ditched the jewel cases a long time ago.
Okay.
All of mine are filed in little CD envelopes like this.
I have those. Those are great, and they also
And
come in like the cloth backed, kind of.
yeah,
I love those too. They take up a lot
they're
less
big enough
space.
to fit the booklet and the artwork from the jewel case, and I slip it in and I keep them alphabetized. I have a lot of bought the last couple of years that aren't in those yet, but that's one of the things I'm working on right now.
Hello, my wife. My wife is here. She
Mary,
does not know
hey.
the drama.
Huh.
She's the one who said, "Oh, by the way, aren't you a Music Mojo tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I do." So yes, welcome, dear. So yeah, so what? I mean, you let's just go with your take on this. What do you think is the main points we need to think about when we're thinking about preserving our digital media?
Well, you just need to. CDs are a lot more forgiving than vinyl.
Yeah,
You're not going to be able to scratch them up as bad, but when you do, they're unplayable. So you won't get clicks and pops. It just won't work.
smart.
So keep them nice, keep them polished, keep them dusted, keep them in an envelope or in the case or in a binder, CD binder, but keep them nice, and they'll serve you for years to come.
Yep. So they are a little different than records, right? So records, you actually put a needle in a groove, and anything happens to the surface of that record, it will cause noise. You can get dirt in it, dust in it, or even just an abrasion of some kind will cause it to distort the sound or make
Yep.
make background noise. Where with a CD, you have a clear surface. It reads, light bounces in and bounces out, and if it can read through a scratch or a scuff or something, it does not affect the sound of it at all. It's
Right.
when it's really deep and nasty and you put holes in them that they have a problem. But you keep the surface relatively clean, even if it does have a few scuffs on it, it shouldn't really bother the playing of the CD at all.
Yeah, just keep a microfiber cloth around to wipe it off every now and then, and you're fine.
Just agreed. Agreed. And you don't have to go, I mean, there are machines that will clean your CDs and polish your CDs and all that. I've had a
Which are
few of
great
those.
if you have scuffed ones or if you have ones with scratches on them, and some of those have like a coating that you can put back on that'll get rid of that and
Like
restore it.
resurfacing. Yep.
Right, that's fine, but that doesn't happen very often to the average consumer, I don't think.
No. And it's not something, those machines cost a lot of money. So unless you're, constantly trying to restore, like rental places used to have them for DVDs and
Mhm.
things, but they also had them for CDs where, if the person used it as a frisbee, they could bring it back in, they'd resurface it, and then you could still watch the movie, which was good.
Yeah, there
Um,
was a time back, I mean, back in the 90s or 80s, they used to make little hand cranked ones that you could get for home use. I had one. I don't know what happened to it. It's long gone. But, and it worked beautifully. It had a buffer on it and a little spreader for anything you needed to clean it off. And it restored 99% of anything that I had. So,
yep. I could never get the handheld ones to work right. They always seem to do more. They'd leave a kind of a starburst pattern on the surface of it that didn't really seem to me like it was helping.
okay.
But I don't know. I
I never
did
had a problem with mine. So I don't
couldn't
know.
get mine to work. So I bought a bigger one, and then of course that worked really well. But yeah, we went through a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stuff I had from back when I was DJing just got chewed up because people, besides me handling it or whatever, or
Yeah.
the back and forth of it, they got a lot of wear. But they still played fine, which was kind of fun. Because, like I said, if you had that kind of activity with a record and you had that kind of damage on a record, it would sound like absolute crap.
Yeah.
So,
Clicks and pops and scratches. Oh, my.
oh my is right. Oh my is right. So, um, like I said, a lot of people, if you run out of room with these, you want to keep them protected. So you want to keep them in a sleeve like he showed, or this, or there's binders,
Yep.
which are kind of nice because you can
Yep.
also get binders, I believe, that have space for the artwork and the booklets and stuff.
Yep.
Because you're not only dealing with the booklet in the front, but you've got this back area and it has little tabs on it. So it's actually much bigger. It's bigger than the CD would be itself. It goes over into this area. So, have you looked into binders like that as well?
Yeah, I have a couple of binders, smaller ones, um, I don't have any handy. They're over there in the boxes I haven't gotten to yet for the re-rip. But um, most of those I usually keep. I usually use those for stuff I have burned myself,
Ah,
and
okay.
not for the commercial stuff. But yeah, you can use binders, and they work great. They have a usually
Hmm.
have a zipper on them, and will keep everything nice and neat and keep
Yeah.
everything together.
Excuse me. I kept video games in that for a while. Binders
Yep,
like that.
video games are great too if you have CD video games or CD like
Yep.
CD-ROMs for your computer. What's
Yep.
a CD-ROM, Daddy?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
coming up later. Yeah.
yeah.
They're just a CD with stuff on it. There you go. But yeah, so we did, and then of course I burned some DVDs back in my eye patch wearing pirate, or parrot on my shoulder days. So I had a lot of those in the binders as well, and they work great for that. They really are. They keep them out of the sunlight. They keep them the dust off them. They're just great for that. Also, we've had a big suitcase, and it's got the rails in there, and then I want to say like something like this has
Yep,
a spot in between, so you could put a little. It's a little piece of plastic. It comes out on either side,
hmm,
and it kind of has a little, I don't know,
like
ridge
a
on it.
hanging file.
Yeah, it's a hanging file. It would hang them like this, and then you could go through them, and you could put numbers on the top here and organize them that way. And those are nice, and
Yeah.
that's like a big suitcase usually.
Hmm.
And we've had one for a while now that we use, and it keeps them organized really nice. It keeps them from getting beat up, and it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
So if you need to schlep it around somewhere, say you're DJing or whatever, it's not a bad choice either. If you're using physical media and not just using sound files
Digital
or flash
files, right?
files or whatever. Yeah. Back in the day. Back in the day. There you go.
Yeah.
So I know Rachel's here, Mary's here. I already pretty much told you. Rachel, what do you have CDs, and how do you store them? Or anybody else that's here that's not popped into the chat to say hi. I would like to know how they store them, because there's so many different ways to do so. And besides the paper ones that you have, there's also like cardboard sleeves. These
Yeah,
I
and you
don't
can
like
get,
much, but you could write,
yeah,
all the information on them, and then just there you go. What was
and the
that?
kind that you had there with the backing in it that usually has a pouch in the back for the booklet too,
Yeah.
or
So,
another
but you
CD.
could do either one with this. So this one you could put
Yeah.
either two CDs in, or you could put up the thing on the back. And this was Case Logic. This one. And then, if you really liked it, you could always go with something like a thinner hard case.
Yeah.
But it had room for the booklet, but it didn't have room for the back art, right? So you could
Yeah.
literally do the art or the booklet on this side, and then do the CD here. But there was no space for the back, and it was about, I'd say it's about half the, yeah, it's about half the width of a regular CD case. That, and those aren't
Yeah.
bad either. And again, we use those for, let's see, what was this one? Merry Christmas 2004. Can't see it because it's blue. There you go. So just making different presents for people. This was copyrighted music, by the way, so I'm going to get hell for that. But there you go. Uh, but we did that too, which was kind of fun. And there's just all sorts of different ways to do it. This is a little more classy than having just a paper sleeve, I guess. But
Oh, pardon me.
we being classy? Are we being classy?
My paper sleeves work just fine, thank you.
No, your paper sleeves are lovely. Yes, I agree. I have no problem with the paper sleeves. I think paper sleeves are great. So, what other ways do you care for the care and feeding of your CD collection?
Um, I just keep them organized when I can. The ones I have right now, after the disaster I had in December, I've had to re-rip all of my
Yeah.
CDs. So I'm in the process of doing my filed CDs right now. These are the ones that I already have listed on my online service that I use for them. And I'm about almost done with the final box. And then I've got two or three more boxes and two or three more tubs that I purchased just the last 4 years that
Uh
I need to
huh.
get ripped. And then those will get filed into the filed ones. So I'll
And
have
you
it
have a
all
lot.
organized
Most
again.
recently, you bought a bunch of them too.
Yeah. Well,
The
those
last
are all
4 years,
ripped. I
the
was
last
doing all. I
12
was in
months.
my new age section, and I just went and ripped all the ones I got because they were all new age and jazz, and they all go in the same place.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Mary. What I do is the booklet usually fits in it, and I'll take the artwork from the back and fold it in half and slip it into the booklet.
Oh, okay. Because we've been looking at trying to move to a more portable way to store ours. And because that case takes up a lot of room in the closet. We want something a little
Hmm.
more like for bookshelves or whatever, I guess I want to say.
Right.
And it's hard to find decent ones that have they have the pages for the disc, but they don't really have a great way to because of the size of the back artwork, right? I could just pull
Right.
this one apart and show you. Because of the size of the back artwork, it's not great for the fact that this excuse me that this thing here we go is bigger than the booklet by that much roughly. So you got that much overhang, this black section here. You got
Right.
that much
Yeah.
extra. So the booklet's this size, the CD is this size. That's great, right? They both fit in the same space. But the minute you're trying to put this into a sleeve or into a case or whatever, you're just folding it right in half, I guess, or
Yeah.
folding it on either
Because
side.
I'm worried more about making sure the booklet stays in good shape rather than the back art.
Yeah.
And the back art, and that way I can still have it. I don't. I just was looking in here. I don't have a lot of the back inserts in this. I did save them in a separate folder
Mm-hmm.
when I started, so it's only the more recent ones I've been doing that with again. But yeah, that's just how I do it. I mean, everybody's mileage is going to vary depending on what they
True.
feel. Like I'm sure from I can't tell if that's ah or ah. So
I think that's she's weird that way. She doesn't like to fold the back insert.
yeah,
And I don't blame her. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, oh my God, you're folding the back insert, but it's still with you and it's still
if you're yeah, you
legible.
still have it and you aren't putting it in a jewel case again anyway.
Probably not. And even if you
Yeah,
did go to put it in a jewel case, it would just have a little ridge down the middle of it, right?
right.
So I get that. But to find,
Yep,
yeah,
you
it's
were
really
right.
going to be hard to find a storage solution that will let you take that back insert and fit it in
Yeah.
the space. I'm sure they probably make them. Now they make really cool too. She picked up, I believe, some plastic foldable um sleeves. So this is not them, mind you, but I'm showing you. It's basically plastic in the middle. It folds together, and then you got a spot, two pouches. You got a pouch for the CD and a pouch for the cover, and they're not
Hmm.
touching, which is also a thing sometimes, depending on the condition of the CD. Because sometimes artwork can bleed over, right?
Yep.
You got the side here with that had been made maybe 20, 30 years ago and the book gets setting up next to it and it kind of transfers the ink from the cover artwork to the CD itself and people
I
don't like
haven't
that.
had any problems with that.
Good for you.
So mine's been done like this for 12, 15 years, and I have not had any of that issue. I noticed I was looking for that when I was re-ripping them, and they've
Nothing.
all been
Good.
fine. So that's a good thing.
Mary will now pass out. It was a scream. It's okay, honey. Calm down. It's all right. It's okay. She had the same reaction you have when I throw a 45 away or something because it's chipped or something or an
Yeah.
album. Same reaction.
Yep.
No, no. There's got to be help for that, for sure. All right, so you don't worry about now. People talk about loss of quality on the CDs or DVDs because of what is it like data rot or whatever they used to call it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Which it can happen. I mean, depending on the manufacturing quality of the CD in question, um, it's a foil layer inside compressed into plastic, basically. It's a foil layer. It's very thin, metallic. In fact, some of them are so thin you can see right through them. As per the case in this one, I can see you, but you can't see me. But anyway,
No.
yeah, depending on what light you have behind it, you can actually see through it. So it's very thin and is protected. And actually, the coating on the reed side is thicker than the coating on this side, on the back
Yeah.
where the ink and stuff is printed. So if you drop something on it or whatever, if you drop it on this side, it's twice as almost twice as likely to put a hole in it or cause a flaw in the reed on it than it is on this side, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
you'd think it would be the other way around, but it is the way this is wafered in there. It is closer to the top than it is the bottom. So, but there also is the rod I was talking about is where it starts to degrade and move in from the edge, and you can
Hmm.
see on the foil where it's just starting to do weird things and like almost oxidize. I guess. Have you ever seen that on your stuff?
I have not seen. I have not come across it. I think that if you take care of it and you're very careful with it, as I
Yeah.
have always been, you're gonna not have to worry about it. A lot of the times, it's going to be the cheaper manufacturers who are making
Hmm.
CDs that they sell for like $1.99 or whatever, and anything that was burned on your burner that are going to be more prone to it than say something that was pressed by Sony
Yeah, then
or
pre-manufactured
Warner
ones.
Brothers or one of those.
Right, because they're designed to take image from a laser, right? Where these the ones that are pre-manufactured, they've been manufactured already. They don't burn each CD. They actually manufacture the CD in such a way. All right, she's just ordered these to save more storage CDs. Yep. Oh, there's your link right there. I can pull that up in a sec, or unless you want to, TC, and share the screen. And think some of
Not
the
letting me do it.
you want to do it. I think some of the earlier CD DVDs were more prone to disc rot. Yes, they were. Hey, Don, welcome.
Hey, Don,
Don's not
welcome.
a CD person.
No,
Don does not do the CD thing. Let me pull that up. Hang on a second. Copy link. I'm going to put it over here so we can see it. Um, I think this is the one she bought. Hang on a second. Yes, I want to go to the site. I don't want to stay on YouTube. Be nice to me. Oh, okay. Yep, that's it. Let me share because these are actually kind of cool. Share, please. There we go. And adding to the stage. So these are the gatefolds. Yeah, that's what they are. Gatefold. Now they're showing this. That's a back. That's a back insert.
yeah, it is.
So these give you room for that, which is very cool. Let's see. And then the front looks like that. Nice. Okay, those are cool. So they're that's not a bad price either. 100 of them
Yeah,
for 23.48.
unless if you're running into the conundrums that I have, that's gonna be
Well, yeah,
expensive.
I know the paper sleeves would be better, but I mean, cheaper, definitely cheaper. 4 mil, let's see, 4 mil. Yeah, those are nice. And then also, I think, Mayor, you can correct me on this. Oh, you got it from this YouTuber. Okay, there you go. Yeah, because this guy ran out of room. I remember the video, and he had a bunch of the hard cases, and he wanted an option for organizing them still on the shelf, not in the binder, a way that would make sure he could still access them and keep them in order. So he did this, and plus, I think she also put. Didn't you say you got an inner sleeves like you would use for your LPs? It's kind of the same thing, the archival quality sleeves as well. Remove that if I'm not mistaken. So there's some options out there for sure. Paper sleeves definitely an option, especially if you want to keep it on the cheap. Yes, let me see if I can find a link for that. My wife is so helpful. She's so helpful. But also they've been making CD cases for years that you could use the binder type where you just slide them in. You can find
Uh-huh.
those cheap at garage sales even if you're looking to kind of compress your collection.
They also make them for regular notebooks too, where you can just get them and plug them into a regular standard notebook instead of having to have a special binder for it.
That's true. That's true. And then you could use, you could get like do a page of that and then do a page of just like for the actual inserts and stuff and just have them like opposite each other so you could see them or whatever or back to back.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are nice. I'm making those for sure. So, the reason I brought up disc rot was because do you remember the pens that you could get that you'd run along the edge of the CD
Mm-hmm.
to? It was literally a marker. I mean, really, it was
Yeah.
just a black marker
Yeah.
that was supposed to cut down on the amount of light that got through. Or I don't know what it was. I'm not sure what it was, but I
It
think
was supposed to help it track better. It was pure
really.
bull.
Don't hold back. How was it really? It was bull.
It was bull.
It was bull. It was bull tookie. It really was. It didn't. I think you'll see. There's a few people that did videos out there were like, "Did this help after so many years?" No. Did this do make
No.
any changes to the sound quality? No.
No.
Did it do anything but put a black ring around my CD? No.
No.
No. It didn't. No. No. It didn't, and it wouldn't. Oh, she found a link. She found a link. All right, there's a link, guys. Oh, Amazon. Okay. Some of us are not into Amazon, but we found it on Amazon, so we're gonna put it up here. Hang on a sec. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm so sorry. I'll get it there. It may happen.
Mary, if you get a chance, email me the links because I can't pull them off of the screen. So
You can't pull it off a street. Oh,
it won't let me. I tried. It won't let me do it.
I'm copying them. Actually, I'm copying them out of YouTube. That's
Oh, I
fine.
probably can get them there. I haven't. I'm not over there, so that's why.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries. Oh, yeah.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
here
if
they
they're
are.
in the YouTube stream, I'll get them there. That's fine.
Okay. Add to stage. This is they look like LP inner sleeves, really, but they're small. They're petite little things. But they go inside of those other sleeves. So you're really literally like making protecting it like you would an LP
Mm-hmm.
at that point. So, and those are actually nice too if you want. And I guess if you were worried about the paper sleeves causing issue, you could put these inside the paper sleeves as well if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or plastic sleeves, like these cardboard ones. Some people like those. I think I've had these forever. Twin sister 2001. That's how long I've had these. God, I'm old. Okay. Anyway, God, I'm old. But these are cool too. Double-sided 3 mil, anti-static and dust-proof. Yeah, those are neat as heck. So there's your option for those guys. Yeah, I'm old. I admit it. I admit it. Whoops. There we go. Oh, they're unavailable. Shit. You must have got the last ones. Did you buy them? Do we have them? Then you got the last ones. There you go. Oh, she'll send you the link.
You can probably find something like that around on the various
I would think so.
Sleeve City or Bags or in one of those places.
Probably. Yes, but I'll probably
But yeah,
need
that's not a
one.
bad idea. I'll have to look into that.
If nothing else, even if you're just, transporting them someplace and you don't want to have a bunch of paper or sleeves or you're trying to make more room. I don't know, up your game. But if the paper sleeves are working for you, buddy, I'd keep using them.
Uh-huh.
For sure. Just, this way you'd probably get to see the artwork a little more and you wouldn't have to worry about popping them out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just the minute you find something that you like and you're going to use, they go out of stock on them. It never fails.
Yeah, that's always the way it goes.
Lovely. So, what other tips and tricks and things do you have for the Disc Preservation Society?
Well, I don't go in for the whole marker thing. I really do think that just was. I know people swore by it and they said that they noticed better performance. I don't think so. I tried it. I didn't hear any difference. I didn't notice any difference in tracking. And 9 times out of 10, if you have a front loader on your CD player, which some people do now, those are not going to work because they're not going to track properly. if they've been marked like that. So I thankfully do not have a front loader except on the PlayStation, and I don't play CDs on there. So
There you go.
I do good, but I don't have any of mine marked anyway. So that's another good thing. I didn't waste hours and hours and hours doing something that did absolutely no good
Yeah, true.
and probably actually contributed to any kind of rot that started,
It might have. I mean, it depends. If there's a if it's
especially if it's a cheap disc.
if it's a cheap disc, yeah. I mean, when they first came out, the edges were almost sealed. You know what I mean? They're rounded, and
Uh
they
huh.
were like you could tell it was well manufactured. And then as they got cheaper and cheaper, the edges got more rough and what do I want to
Yep.
say? It didn't look like a finished product. You could definitely see the edge of the CD, and you could see where the film was. So I can understand where that might, if anything, got in contact with that, like alcohol or anything like that, which is pretty much what that marker has in it.
Yeah.
Um, it would degrade it if it leached into the plastic and leached into the metal and the foil on it, for sure. That would be
Do
horrible.
you have your CDs cataloged anywhere? Just, I mean, as a matter of record, so you have a list of them?
Yes, we do. We have them listed on Discogs, as
Ah,
well as we have a spreadsheet that my lovely wife has spent arduous amount of time, days, decades, years. Yeah, she's done a lot of cataloging for that. But yeah, well, it's also on Discogs as well.
yeah, I haven't
Um,
put mine on Discogs yet. I haven't, I've got my albums done. I'm about halfway through the 45s, and then I will start on the CDs.
yeah.
And I want to get them all in there in the next couple of years, but it's going to be
It's
the
gonna
thing
be
about Discogs is I had used a different company, I'd used a different service before. And
yeah.
of course, Discogs being Discogs, you can't import everything you've got. So I have to start from scratch on all of them. So,
Yeah. And I've been going through my 45. Speaking of Discogs, and I mean it is easy enough to do. You just want to make sure you have the right release of it, no matter what it is.
uh
There's more
huh.
than one release usually of everything, even CDs.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I know.
Yeah.
45s
So
are a bitch.
you want to make absolutely right. Make sure you've got it right. Right. If you're going to go that far, you might as well confirm that it's the absolute right one, and then make sure you have it in create a category, especially if you're going to do multiple formats. Like if you're going to do 7 inches and
Yep. Oh,
LP,
yeah. Yeah.
8 tracks or whatever. I don't know. Make sure that you
Segue into
categorize it.
into talking about Discogs, we could do that too, because um, people who don't keep track of their collection should, and Discogs is the best way to do it. It makes it is a bit of a slog
Yeah.
sometimes because you'll go in like I'll just grab one of these 45s I got from you
Prepare to hear
guys.
about Discogs, guys.
I'm sure that this Michelle Lee probably has 6 different versions in
Oh,
Discogs, and I'll have to find out which one it is and
yep.
try to work it down because it does say I think it's a promo anyway, so that'll make it easier. But if I ever do file something that's not exactly, I'll leave a note in the notes section. This appears to match with this, but and then I'll
But
say what's different. So
yeah,
that way, if somebody's looking it up in my collection, they can see this isn't here. And I've actually heard from a couple of people who have looked through some of my stuff and said, "Oh, hey, it's not this one, it's this one," and they've sent me a link to the right one, and I've moved it over. So
ah,
that's cool. But
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, let me go to Discogs because it is it. If you guys have not done Discogs at all, okay, it is interesting because just for giggles, give me the record number, the number off of that 45 you just pulled up. Because you can search in a couple different ways. You can search by artist and title, or you can search by the catalog number of the record. And sometimes, even
okay.
if you search the catalog number of the record, you get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to share my screen here and show you something. Hang on a
I'm
second.
probably going to disappear for a second.
Oh, because you're blowing your lights out?
Yeah. The number on the 45 is P as in Paul, D as in David,
P is in
2
ball.
hyphen. Ready?
Yep, PDQ.
PD 2, number
Oh,
2,
two. Sorry, I thought you said Q.
dash 14086. And
Okay.
that's the general number of it.
Michelle Lee, right? Oh,
Yep,
let me
there's
add
an
the right.
island.
There we go. So this is what comes up. Street Corner Band is Michelle Lee, but there's an island. So that's when I put that in. This is what I get, and it's a red label, right? So is it Street Corner Band or is it there's
Right,
an
it's
island?
got both. It's got both of them on it.
Okay,
But the promotional stamp that they put on it is on the street corner band side.
okay. So then you could click into it, and you're like, okay, this might be it. Oh no, this isn't it. That's the original. That's the master listing. It's actually one of these three.
Yeah.
Hey, Christina's here. Welcome, 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 dear. Having a good night. Have a good night, you too. Mary says on Discogs you can export your collection. You can also create different folders for your collection. For example, sevens and yeah, CDs exactly. So yeah, so we'll say okay, it's probably this one because these are promos. You can tell because they're white labels. So you go here, and then if you're not sure because that's a small picture, you can hit more images, and it'll blow it up for you,
Yeah.
and you can blow it up more. And that's when you start looking at all this detail.
Yeah.
The font, the size, the location of what it says. If there's anything on your record that's not on here or vice versa, it's probably not the same release.
Right. And you got to check the dead wax too.
And you got to check if they note any dead wax in on their description. So they'll say, okay, matrix or run out is the other one. It's dead wax. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
The POL, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully that's on there. And then you're golden. And then you can go over here and say, add to collection or add to want list if it's something you want. If you hit add to collection, it asks you for, pull this up a little bit so you can see it. It asks you for the condition, and that's when you grade it. If you got it graded, you know what it is. Say it's VG condition. If it has a sleeve, you would put in there the condition of the picture sleeve. If it doesn't have a sleeve, you'd either say no cover, which means you got it in a paper sleeve, or a generic cover, which would be probably from the label. Like if it's Arista, it'd be an Arista sleeve or RCA or whatever.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't ever do the grading at this point. I want to get them all in first, and then I'll
Yeah.
go back and grade
Oh, I'm
as
just
I listen to
showing them
them
the
again.
rabbit hole that they can fall
Yeah.
into. Any notes at that point, like TC will say it's almost perfect but not, or it's almost the right one but not, or whatever. And then down here, okay, save that. Down here is where we put because you can create a category.
Yep.
7-inch vinyl, CD collection, or LP vinyl is what we have. I don't have any 8 tracks listed. I don't have any cassettes listed. So these are the ones we're getting into. So there you go. And that's how you do it. And then it comes up under your collection. Next time you go searching under your stuff, it's there.
Yeah.
And you can also export a list if you need to. So if you're out shopping for either CDs or vinyl, doesn't matter, and you can get there's an app for Discogs on it that you can put on your phone. You can look and search for what you already currently own, which is lovely.
Yeah, which I never do when I'm out.
I don't either. I'll admit it. That's why I have multiple copies of shit.
Me too.
Supposedly,
Yep.
I do. I have tons.
I
So
do
anyway,
wish they'd have some kind of an import feature where you could dump
be
the
nice.
imports into a protected area and then have to go through them before you could add it to your collection, have to approve what's on the system for it, because that would make it a lot easier than having to redo all of these thousands of CDs when I get around to it. So
Yeah, exactly. And then once you either you got rid of it or you didn't want to start, you can just get rid of the listing, and there you go. And now that's not in my collection anymore. But you also can you can tell Discogs that you have a copy of something,
yeah,
and you can enter it into their system. It has to be vetted, right? I mean, people have to look at it.
You can attempt to add something to their system.
You can try. You can try. I've come across things that were not in there.
I put a few things into it, and I get snarky notes back from everybody. So I'm like,
what are their snarky notes?
Well, this doesn't belong here, and this is that, and this and the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay, whatever.
Okay, correct it and then put it in for me so I can have it, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't have everything, but they come damn close. They have a lot. They don't have everything.
No, like chain drive billfold.
Exactly. That's out there yet. Did you enter that one?
Yes, I entered that one.
Did you really? I'm gonna go look for it. Oh my god. Whoops. 2 L's in billfold. Chain drive billfold. There's no picture.
No, I didn't. It gives you crap when you try to put a picture in. I'm not willing to put anything in there that's like, oh, you might get a copyright strike. Oh no, I forget it. So whatever.
Well, TKR TC Kirkham report has this. He's the only one with a copy of it. Congratulations. Yeah, you can even look and see who has it, which is nice because it'll tell you how many people have it, how many people want it. Nobody wants it, TC, but you've got one.
I have two actually.
Oh, you
You
should sell
actually sent
one.
me a second copy of it later on in one of the
You should sell
pylons.
one. You should put it on the, and they have a marketplace, guys, which is the other cool thing about Discogs. They have a marketplace where you can actually sell extra stuff, like the multiple copies of Chain Drive Billfold or whatever that you have. Uh, you could sell them and make tons of money because you're the only one that has one.
I'm the only one that's entered it in Discogs. I doubt that I'm the only one that has one.
Catalog number may be misspelled as several source identity is different record. Yeah. Folk, world, and country.
Yeah, it's country.
Yep. Very good. Very good. So yeah, I just love that. So Discogs, guys, it's something it's something to check into if you have not checked into it. It will give you fits sometimes because it's not the easiest system. Where are they based out of, by the way? Do you know?
California somewhere or Oregon. I forget which.
Okay. I mean, they try and they do a
I
good
thought it was
job.
overseas originally, but it is actually in the States. We looked it up when we talked about it a few months ago.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is, too, I didn't realize I can look at your activity. Did you know
Yeah,
that? I didn't
yeah,
know that. Last thing you did was 5 months ago.
yeah. I haven't been in there lately.
Damn.
I don't have the time.
Who does? Yeah, I know that feeling. But we're going through right now. I'm going through my 45s and making sure because back when I put like 10 years ago or more, I started putting 45s in as our collection. And for some reason, we didn't have any system set up as far as the cataloging system, as far as what category it falls under. So now everything's uncategorized, so I have to go in and hit 7-inch single every single time I pull one up. So there's that, but at least it's going to be. So now when I export, I know if I have the single or I have the CD or I have the LP of it.
Right.
It's a big deal, and it's very helpful for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. All right. Oregon, says Mary.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, she looked it up last time we talked
That's
about
cool.
it. I think it was in Oregon somewhere.
Added a few records and CDs, but admittedly, it's not the easiest to figure out all the categories and they have for entry. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. They want to know everything about whatever you're putting in, every little detail. And I have loaded images. I can't remember if they got taken or not because there's a vetting process. They have to confirm that you're not just loading bull tookie up there.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember the ones I loaded up if they took the images or not. I think they did. So that's cool. Beaverton, Oregon. It's in Beaverton. Yes. Great. Beaverton, Oregon. I love it. Cool. All right. So, what other information do you have for us, sir?
Other information?
CD wise, because we diverged. We went off to the Discog side of the world.
I'm finding during this re-rip that I don't like the CD drives that I get for the new computer.
Oh no.
It's an
What?
external drive, and it's a DVD, Blu-ray, and it does not like doing CDs a lot.
Oh.
I had no problem with the ones I got from you, but my own collection sometimes it's just there'll be one every now and then that I will have to take it in and out 4 times before the drive will read it.
Wow.
So that's annoying.
You need an older drive, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
What
I should have
PlayStation
got
do you have? You said you had a PlayStation. What year?
PlayStation 4.
It's a 4.
Yeah.
They might work in the 4.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will, but I'm just like I can't rip it from this PlayStation.
Well,
so,
no.
Which is what I'm doing with this. That's the only reason why I got it. So.
Do you have an option other than the external one?
I have an internal one around here, but no slots to store it in. So
Oh,
on this particular computer, it doesn't like slots
oh,
because it's a gaming computer. So
oh, yeah.
it's
That's
more
soft.
RGB than anything else, and I don't even use that because it's down here and nobody can see it
Nobody
anyway.
can see it. Yeah, nobody can see it. Hmm. I know they make cases that you could put a port or an external drive into, or an internal drive into an external drive if you need to.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but yeah,
still have to get a couple of drives done where I can move it from one drive to another that have nothing to do with music. As I told you a couple of weeks ago, I got one that I'm worried about losing if I don't get it transferred over, but I got to get a hub that I can do it with. So
oh yeah, all the
haven't
fun.
done that yet. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you're having a good time. Mary says they also have locations in Amsterdam and the Netherlands. Okay, didn't realize that. The website is not the flashiest. I mean, they do a good job, right? But it's not.
they've been working on some revamps lately, so it's looking a little better than it used to.
Yeah, but they do have an app, which is lovely. That's nice. They both have an app for both Apple and for like Samsung or what do I want to call it?
Android.
Androids. Thank you. Apple and Androids, and they do have a Facebook page. They have Instagram. They are on YouTube,
Yeah.
and wow, Twitter and okay, nice. I didn't know that. Ooh, and they have a careers site. Maybe we should get a job there. There's a careers tab on their website. I wonder what that's about. Wait a minute. I know we're way off base now. Work
Here's
at
the app.
Discogs.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Very
Yep.
bright. Nope. Discogs is growing and always looking for curious, talented, and motivated doers. That's us. Committed to bringing you a great place to work where innovation and the team. You'd have to move to, Oregon or wherever. But hey, driving are appreciated and valued. View job openings. I'm sorry, I'm way off. We're way off here. What is UX? Shopping and discography remote. Ooh, it's a remote job, TC. They have 2 remote jobs here. They have all remote jobs. Every single job they list is remote.
Well, that's cool.
Okay, here's your shot.
That's
Hey,
what the app looks
Veronica.
like.
Yeah, it looks great on your phone. Now I can see it. User experience, exactly. Hey, Veronica, how's it going? How you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I would say it's user experience is what it is, right? Okay, so UX is user experience designer. Hey, we got notes if nothing else. Senior full stock or stack engineer. Yeah, they're looking for people to help them revamp. It looks like community support coordinator and manager. There you go. I love it. Love it. So, what about you guys in the chat? How many CDs do you have? Do you have CDs? Do you do vinyl? Or is it all downloads? Is it all streaming? What are you doing with your music? Let us know. I understand. I gotcha. Gotcha, girlfriend. Gotcha. Gotcha. She knows. She knows. So, do you guys do mostly CDs or streaming? She has Spotify.
Yeah, I have Spotify too.
So, there's some things you just can't get streaming though, guys, because of
Yeah.
the contracts, right? If you want specific music, you can't always get it on Apple, or you can't always get it, or iTunes or whatever. You can't always get it streaming. Spotify, YouTube, even depending on what
It's
you stream from.
it's even
Pandora.
becoming more difficult to just purchase digital copies. You don't want you to purchase it anymore. They want you to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to buy digital copies all the time. I like having physical media. And physical also means digital physical media.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
I don't want to just stream.
I like physical media. I think she meant no, not so much into streaming though. I do use Pandora, but don't have a subscription. Yeah, and Pandora. I just have a hard time. If I want a selection, I'm not going for streaming. I'm just not. I'll go look at my hard drive and see what I've got because
I mean,
after a while they shuffle in the same crap every time.
so Spotify is the best, I think, because you can find all kinds of different stuff all over the world. And I mean, Apple Music is good, Tidal is good. I don't know about a couple of the other ones, but I've been with Spotify for 15 years. I think we were joined in 2010.
Hmm.
And they're great. They have everything, but they do lose the rights to some stuff every now and then. So you want to make sure. And now they're kind of pushing podcasting, so you're getting away a little bit from the music, and they don't pay the artist what they really should be. But I don't know if that's actually Spotify or the labels screwing the artists over as they always have. So it's hard to tell.
Veronica says her Spotify algorithm really gets me. It really gets you, huh? Well, I mean, once it figures you out, I can understand where it might. Maybe I haven't spent enough time on the platforms to do that, to get a good mix of things. And I find myself liking something for a while and then moving on to a different flavor of music or a different artist or whatever.
Hmm.
So if I want to be able to just jump if I want to, and sometimes they'll mix in stuff that you've listened to before or is very popular or whatever, and it's not what you want to hear today, kind of thing. I guess
Well,
that's where
again, with Spotify, you can listen to whole albums. You don't have to have
Mhm.
the intermixing stuff that they do the mixing for. That you're curated your own stuff. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I just bought a new MP3 player, so we'll see. I'll have to show you my MP3 player next time for sure. Um, so what do you got going on? I've got something going on Tuesday. What about you? What are you doing tomorrow, dude?
I don't know. I'm just probably sitting around doing twiddling my thumbs until about 7 o'clock.
And then, nice setup. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice setup. Thank you again for that. Yeah, we're gonna do well. So we're not. We're doing this tomorrow, right? And then I think we're doing an April 1st show, and then I think we're gonna take a vacation for a while because we're gonna be taking a vacation. So
Yep.
we won't be doing multiple weeks in a row, but I do want to do a huge blowout of some of the stuff we still have that we've been going through trying to get rid of. So what do you think of this idea? Do like a dollar start on 45s is what I was thinking. And I'll put it out there so everybody can chime in on it. Give me your thoughts, kids. Hey, it's Michael. Hey, Michael. How's it going, buddy? We were talking about CDs and storage and Discogs. Um, what do you think of that idea? Like dollar starts on 45s, they're only worth $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
You
We
know.
also do like mystery packs of like so many for a certain
Yeah,
amount.
I mean we could do pylons too for that as well. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of 45s. What can I say? You can do anything. I actually have some albums too, which I probably could bring as well. And we could still play
Yep.
music, but we don't have to necessarily. Because I know a certain amount of people like to come in and listen as well, which is cool because that's a cool format for that. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. My favorite Angry Otter. Yes, yes, indeed. That's a good point. How many are there out there?
Yeah, that is a very good point, Michael.
Yeah, it better be your favorite. How many you got? So what's up with you this week? You got to pump the Sunday AM 70 show. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
we talked the whole show about it last time. The AM 70s is on Sunday nights at 8. I also do Saturday night disco party Saturday nights at 11. I have a Friday show premiering in April, and there will be some more stuff every you know, my throughout my week. Obscuria returned a couple of weeks ago. I've got enough to get back to normal on that. That's Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. And I do want to say that 2 weeks from tonight, here on Finding Music Mojo, my friend Katie Blaylock will join us. We will talk Record Store Day 2025, and she's always a blast to have on. She's been on with us several times, and we'll let you know what kind of crazy stuff is coming out for this year's Record Store Day, which is coming up, believe it or not, in just 3 weeks. So,
Good God. I really enjoyed Katie's take on it, and it was a lot of fun last time she was with us. And Record Store Day is always a hoot,
yeah.
especially with her perception of different things. I love doing that show with her, so I'm glad she's coming back. It's very cool. If you
Hmm.
guys missed it, go back and check out previous episodes. You'll find Katie joined us more than once. Actually, she was on a couple times, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's been on 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
usually talking about Record Store Day or Record Store Day Black Friday.
Yep. Yep.
And doo
So,
wop, which
and
is
of
her
course,
specialty.
doo-wop, because that's her thing.
Yeah.
Her thing. Yay, Katie! I know, right? She's great. So yeah, I look forward to that show too. Mary and I will be doing our normal stuff this week. We've got obviously you saw the Tuesday pump or bump for that. Tuesday tomorrow is Chick Chat. Wednesday is Johnny's auction. Thursday is estate sale bingo. I'm thinking about since I'm not doing a weird album Wednesday because I can't find it anymore. I'm going to put out Wednesday. I'm going to have. I've been going through my 45s and I found a whole bunch of Carpenters ones. So I'm going to do Carpenters B sides just for
Okay, that
fun.
sounds good.
It
Yeah.
does. I enjoyed listening to them, so why not? And I might have a few extra Carpenter records that I found duplicates of that you might want if you want them. I'll send them
Well,
to you.
yeah, because I didn't get the last shipment I bought from
I
you. Remember,
know.
it got stolen, so I don't know what happened.
Don't trust the mail service, guys. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I owe you. I owe you some, I guess, because yeah, those didn't show up, and God knows where they are. But yeah, I'll get them to you. No worries. I can do that. I can do that. I hope you can make it tomorrow. Oh, I hope so too.
We hope you can too, Mit K.
Yeah.
Or Mit Ka, excuse me.
Yeah. Work is insane for sure. Um, we all want you there, sweetie. We all want you there. Are you you're also doing isn't Kim doing a show as well? Doesn't she do
Kim
Kim
has a
K?
show coming this week, coming up tomorrow. It might be a little bit later because we've been having trouble with our laptop, but we're hopefully will have it done in time for sometime tomorrow. It should have been up at 4, but it might be at 7 tomorrow. So we'll see.
You bet. You bet. All right, guys, we're gonna take off, I believe, unless you got more to
Yep.
say.
Yep, that works for me.
2 weeks. Don't be shy. You got to be there because we will have Katie there, and it will be a great show. I am sure of that because Katie's going to be there. So,
Mhm.
everybody, take care. We will see you on the YouTubes. Please take care of your records and your CDs and everything else. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
Do hip kicks.